Hello, and a very warm welcome. My name is Jimmy, and today we embark on a journey to the most parched and unforgiving corners of our planet. Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 animals that can survive without water. For nearly all life on Earth, water is the very essence of existence, a vital elixir that fuels every biological process. Without it, life as we know it simply ceases to be. Yet a select few have evolved extraordinary, almost miraculous strategies to endure and thrive, where water is a distant memory. These are nature's ultimate survivalists, masters of conservation and ingenuity. Through millennia of adaptation, they have unlocked the secrets to living without a single drop to drink for days, weeks, months, even years. Their bodies are marvels of biological engineering, each one a testament to the sheer tenacity of life. As we count down from 10 to 1, we will witness these incredible creatures in their natural habitats, their forms and functions perfectly aligned with the stories of their survival. Prepare to be astonished. From the searing deserts to the cracked earth of dried riverbeds, we will meet the animals that defy the fundamental rules of biology. Each creature you see on screen will be the very subject of our discussion, allowing us to fully appreciate the intricate details of their waterless existence. Let us begin our exploration into the world of these remarkable waterless survivors. Our journey begins in the scorched, sandy landscapes of North America's deserts, home to our 10th contender, the kangaroo rat. This tiny rodent, scarcely larger than a common mouse, possesses a survival mechanism so profound it seems to defy logic. It can live its entire life, from birth until death, without ever taking a single drink of water. The kangaroo rat is a granivore, its diet consisting almost exclusively of dry seeds. Through a remarkable metabolic process, it is able to extract all the moisture it needs from these seemingly desiccated morsels. As its body breaks down the carbohydrates in the seeds, a small amount of metabolic water is produced as a byproduct. The kangaroo rat is a nocturnal creature, spending the blistering heat of the day in a cool, humid burrow. Its nasal passages are a labyrinth of cooled surfaces, designed to condense the moisture from its own breath before it can be exhaled. Its kidneys are perhaps the most specialized of any mammal on Earth, capable of producing urine so concentrated it is almost solid. Every aspect of its biology is fine-tuned for a life without liquid water. The kangaroo rat is not just a survivor, it is a self-sustaining ecosystem in miniature. It is a living testament to the power of evolution to find solutions in the most extreme of circumstances. At number 9, we meet an animal that has become an icon of desert survival, the camel. Known as the ship of the desert, this magnificent creature is renowned for its ability to travel vast distances across sun-baked landscapes for weeks on end without drinking. For centuries, humans have relied upon its incredible endurance, but the secrets to its survival are often misunderstood. One of the most persistent myths is that the camel's hump is a giant water tank. This is not true. The hump is, in fact, a large reservoir of fatty tissue. Fat stored in one place reduces insulation compared to fat distributed across the body. That lets the camel dissipate body heat more effectively in the scorching sun. Its red blood cells are oval-shaped, unlike our circular red blood cells. It can drink over 100 liters in just minutes, rehydrating extremely fast. A camel can let internal temperature swing from about 34 degrees Celsius at night to 41 degrees Celsius by day. This tolerance reduces sweating and conserves water. Long eyelashes, sealable nostrils, highly efficient kidneys, very dry feces. Every feature is geared toward conserving water. The camel is not merely tolerant of the desert, it is sculpted by it. Venturing to the arid outback of Australia, we encounter our 8th survivor, a creature that looks as though it has emerged from a prehistoric age. This is the thorny devil. Covered head to toe in an intimidating array of conical spines, its appearance is purely for defense. This lizard literally drinks through its skin. The thorny devil's skin is a marvel of natural engineering, covered in a complex network of microscopic, hygroscopic grooves. These channels form an intricate capillary system that covers the entire surface of its body. When any moisture comes into contact with the lizard, be it the rare desert rain or morning dew, it is instantly drawn into these grooves. Through the power of capillary action, the water is wicked along the channels, defying gravity, and transported across the surface of its skin. All of these microscopic canals converge at one point, the corners of the thorny devil's mouth. The lizard doesn't need to find a puddle or a stream, it simply stands still and lets its own body do the work. The lizard can then be seen rhythmically opening and closing its mouth, actively swallowing the water that its skin has so diligently collected. In a world defined by scarcity, the thorny devil has become a living, breathing water collector, turning the very air around it into a source of life. Our seventh remarkable survivor takes us to the vast and punishing deserts of the Arabian Peninsula. Here, amidst the endless dunes, lives the sand gazelle, also known as the rim gazelle. This elegant antelope is a phantom of the sands, perfectly camouflaged against the pale landscape. Like many desert animals, the sand gazelle derives most of its moisture from the plants it eats, browsing on desert shrubs and grasses, often at night. During extreme water scarcity, the sand gazelle can intentionally shrink some of its own vital organs. Scientists have observed that during the dry season, its liver and heart can decrease in size by as much as 30%. This is a radical measure, a form of physiological budgeting on a cellular level. By reducing the size of these organs, the gazelle lowers overall energy and oxygen requirements. A lower metabolic rate means the animal needs less food and, crucially, less water to function. It's the biological equivalent of a city shutting down districts to conserve power. When the life-giving rains return to the desert and new green shoots appear, once drought breaks and food and water return, the gazelle's organs regrow to normal size. The gazelle grazes again and runs gracefully across the plains. This plasticity is a powerful adaptation. Survival isn't just external, it's dynamic internal control, a willingness to literally downsize to endure. For our sixth entry, we leave the dry sands and delve beneath them into the cracked clay soils of inland Australia. Here lives an amphibian that has mastered the art of waiting. This is the water-holding frog. As its name suggests, this remarkable creature has a unique solution to drought. It becomes its own living canteen, a biological water bottle buried deep underground. When the rains come, frantic activity erupts, feeding, breeding, drinking. The frog absorbs a colossal amount of water, through its mouth and through its skin. It drinks so much its body swells like a small round balloon. Much of that water is stored in its bladder, which can expand to hold more than half the frog's body weight. This stored water is fresh and drinkable. As pools dry under the fierce sun, the frog burrows deep into soft mud, sometimes over a meter down. Once at depth, it secretes a cocoon of mucus and sheds skin. This waterproof membrane seals it from the soil, cutting evaporative water loss drastically. Inside this subterranean chamber, the frog enters estivation. Its metabolism slows to near standstill. It can remain dormant for years, slowly drawing on its bladder reserves. A life of extreme feast and famine. A patient strategy, waiting for the distant rumble of the next life-giving storm. We now travel to the floodplains and swamps of Africa to meet our fifth contender. A living fossil that has remained almost unchanged for millions of years. This is the African lungfish. This creature blurs the line between fish and amphibian, possessing not only gills but also a true lung, allowing it to breathe air. During the wet season, the lungfish behaves much like any other fish, swimming in the rivers and marshes. As the dry season progresses, the water level drops, the pools shrink, and the mud begins to bake in the sun. For the lungfish, it is merely a signal to prepare for a long sleep. Once submerged, it contorts into a U-shape and begins to secrete copious mucus from its skin. This mucus dries to form a tough, leathery cocoon, leaving only a small opening at the top for breathing. The mud around it hardens into a brick-like consistency, entombing the fish. Inside its protective cocoon, the lungfish enters estivation, where its metabolic rate plummets to as little as 1/60th of normal. It ceases to use its gills entirely and relies solely on its lung, breathing air through the small tube. In this state of suspended animation, the African lungfish can survive for months or even years, completely without water. When the floods arrive, the cocoon softens and the lungfish emerges, gaunt but alive, ready to resume its aquatic life. Our fourth survivor is a slow-moving but incredibly resilient resident of the Mojave and Sonoran deserts. This is the desert tortoise, an ancient reptile that carries its home on its back. The desert tortoise is an herbivore. It gets water from succulent cacti and wildflowers, especially in spring. To survive the long, hot, waterless summer months, it relies on water banking. It has an unusually large urinary bladder used not just for waste, but as a water storage tank. After rare desert rainstorms, a tortoise will drink deeply, filling that bladder. That reservoir can be 40% or more of its body weight. It's not typical urine. It's relatively clean water. The tortoise can reabsorb into its bloodstream. This internal canteen is vital during dry spells. To conserve water, it spends up to 95% of its life in burrows. Burrows offer refuge from extreme surface temperatures, from the searing heat of summer and the freezing cold of winter. Inside, the air is cooler and more humid, which cuts water loss from respiration and skin evaporation. As a last resort, it may empty its bladder to escape or deter a predator, but emptying during a drought can be fatal. The desert tortoise lives a life of careful calculation, slow, deliberate, built around preserving water. In the heart of the Sahara, one of the most hostile environments on Earth, lives our third-place survivor, the Addax antelope. This critically endangered species is perhaps the most desert-adapted of all antelopes. With its pale, sand-colored coat and long, spiraling horns, the Addax is a ghostly presence in the dunes, capable of a feat that seems truly impossible. It can go for almost its entire life without ever drinking freestanding water. The Addax is a nomadic grazer, traveling vast distances in search of the sparse desert grasses and shrubs that make up its diet. These plants, while appearing dry and lifeless to us, contain just enough moisture to sustain the antelope. To maximize its water intake, the Addax is primarily nocturnal, meaning it is most active at night, dawn, and dusk. During these cooler times, the desert air has higher relative humidity, and moisture is absorbed by the plants. By feeding at night, the Addax consumes vegetation with the highest possible water content. During the blistering heat of the day, it digs shallow depressions in the sand, often on the shaded side of a dune. Its physiology is supremely adapted for water conservation. Its urine is incredibly concentrated, its feces exceptionally dry. Like the camel, it can allow its body temperature to rise significantly during the day, which reduces the need for evaporative cooling. The Addax antelope is a living embodiment of the struggle for survival in the Sahara, a true master of the waterless world. Our runner-up, at number 2, is a creature of legend and misconception. The Gila monster is one of only a few venomous lizards in the world. But its most remarkable trait is not its venom, but its incredible capacity for endurance. The Gila monster has an extremely slow metabolism. It spends over 90% of its life inactive, hidden away in underground burrows. It may only emerge to forage a few times a year. When it does emerge, it is voracious, preying on eggs and newborn mammals. This feast-and-famine lifestyle is made possible by its thick, fleshy tail, a massive fat storage organ that acts as both fuel tank and water reservoir. We have arrived at the pinnacle of our countdown, at number 1. For this, we travel to one of the oldest and driest places on Earth, the Namib Desert in southern Africa. Here, on the fog-drenched coastal dunes, lives a small, unassuming insect. This is the Namib desert beetle. In the early hours of the morning, the beetle makes a pilgrimage, climbing to the very crest of a sand dune. It then adopts a remarkable posture, tilting its body forward into the wind, head down and abdomen pointing up at a precise 45-degree angle. Its back is covered in microscopic bumps and troughs with very different properties. The bumps are hydrophilic, attracting water, while the troughs are waxy and hydrophobic, repelling water. As moist fog blows over the beetle's back, tiny droplets condense on the hydrophilic bumps. These droplets grow larger until they roll off and down the waxy channels. These channels guide the accumulated water directly down to the beetle's mouthparts. The beetle simply stands still, facing the wind, and drinks the fresh water. It is a system so brilliant that it has inspired human technologies for collecting water in arid regions. This tiny beetle has truly conquered the desert. It is, without a doubt, our ultimate waterless survivor. And so our journey through the world's most arid landscapes comes to a close. From the metabolic magic of the kangaroo rat to the ingenious fog harvesting of the Namib desert beetle. These animals are a profound reminder that life is not just tenacious, but also endlessly creative. They have bent the very rules of biology. Thank you so much for joining me on this expedition to meet these masters of endurance. If you enjoyed our countdown, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. I would love to read your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these waterless survivors surprised you the most? Was it the organ-shrinking gazelle or the self-canning frog? The animal kingdom is full of unbelievable tales. We've only just scratched the surface. Be sure to explore our other videos for more amazing facts and incredible footage of the creatures with whom we share our world. Until next time, stay curious and never stop being amazed by the sheer resilience of life.